With the world plunging into chaos, it's hard to imagine there's any good left. But the universe surprises us every now and then. Whether it's helping out the poor or a dog hugging you on the street, it seems like there are still a few good folks left. In today's video, we'll be talking about random acts of kindness that will make you cry, so make sure you keep your box of tissues with you. Normally, it's the end of the line when a truck falls off a narrow road into a gorge. Luckily for this driver, hundreds of people were ready to put their backs into pulling the vehicle out of the gorge. Mind you, the truck was 21 meters deep into the pit. They weren't kidding when they said there's strength in numbers. These guys were out for a practice flight in their helicopter when they noticed something unusual. An RC plane was stuck in a 60-foot tall tree. It was clearly serious business because they decided to abandon their practice and get that plane down. On the ground, they found a little kid waiting for his toy. Any guesses about what he wants to be when he grows up? New York City may not be the most welcoming of cities, but once in a while you'll run into a dog in Louboutin who just wants to give everyone a hug. She's called the dog of the streets of New York. Louboutin has managed to put a smile on a lot of people's faces. She's definitely a good girl who deserves all the treats. This man couldn't see his family for weeks after he was hospitalized following a road accident. He was gearing up for another checkup when he realized that the paramedic walking in was his very own son. Will Legrone had been working as a paramedic for 26 years now, which is why he could meet his father in the isolation ward. Judging from the dad's reaction, it was a nice surprise. This little boy showed up outside the royal castle in Stockholm dressed in a costume of his own. He mimicked the guard on duty who surprisingly played along with him to everyone's amusement. Guess we all know what the kid wants to be when he grows up. Fortunately, he has a good role model. When this young woman's sister thought that shaving off her hair made her look ugly, she decided to prove her wrong. The only way she knew how. The woman proceeded to shave off her eyebrows as well just to show her how meaningless they were. It worked because her sister was brought to tears. Someone get her the Best Sister Award. While everyone was out and about celebrating Valentine's Day, this guy made sure to include the homeless in his celebrations as well. He handed out roses and cards with some money inside. His small gesture managed to light them up for the briefest of moments. We seriously need more people like him. Things took a scary turn when a young elk decided to attack a photographer on the side of a road. Luckily, the man was able to keep his wits and remain calm. He kept his head down and protected his vitals. It kind of looked as if they were playing. During a soccer game, this player's hijab came off, and what her opponents did next shocked everyone watching. They forgot all about the game and formed a human shield around her, giving her the privacy she needed. Now that's what we call true sportsmanship. Things could have turned real ugly for this car when it caught fire in the middle of the desert. Little did everyone know there was a hero in their midst. He rushed to the scene and put out the fire with sand. Kudos to him for thinking so fast on his feet. Who knows what would have happened otherwise? This kid with cerebral palsy wanted to ride a Lamborghini ever since he was a kid. Luckily, this man was more than willing to make his dream come true. He was so moved by the kid's reaction that he was brought to tears. Honestly, so were we. This US cop may have arrested the delivery guy, but he was kind enough to deliver the food in his place. It's not every day you get a policeman bringing you your burger. He probably didn't want the poor woman to go hungry. You just know this kid's really committed to doing his homework. He was using the tablet in the shop's window to get done with his geography assignment since he didn't have the technology at home. When the shop's owner realized this, They decided to help him out by giving him his very own Samsung tablet. The look on the kid's face made it all worth it. Races are about grabbing the first position, but this triathlete proved that wrong. He gave up his shot at the medal when he noticed his rival run in the wrong direction. You don't see that often now, do you? Here's another example of players putting aside their rivalry to help each other out. At the Olympics, this Japanese player felt uncomfortable with his back turned to the flag. Much to everyone's surprise, his Canadian opponent decided to hold the flag for him. Even though the street was crowded with hundreds of protesters, all of them didn't waste a second giving way to the ambulance. Who says humanity is dead? When this racer's car ran out of fuel, his opponent knew just how to lend him a hand. He gave him the push he needed to get the car moving again. That's something you don't see every day on the racetrack. Traffic police officers probably have the toughest job. They have to stand all day on the road regardless of the weather. This guy totally gets it. At first, when he parked the car, the officers came over to warn him. Little did they know he was just helping them out. They ended up saluting him. Even though things look bleak, these Romanian volunteers decided to make the little Ukrainian refugee's birthday that much more special. They brought out a cake and sang him a song. Considering how happy he was, it was the right thing to do. This guy might just be Superman because he didn't hesitate a second to jump into the moving car when he noticed that the driver was having a seizure. He brought the car to a halt and let the authorities handle the rest. A true hero if you ask us. Speaking of heroes, these guys deserve a special applause for pushing the ambulance out of the mud. This kid has been saving up to buy a guitar, but at the very last moment he found out that he was $20 short. Just when he thought his dreams of becoming a guitarist would have to wait, a kind stranger stepped in to help. She offered to pay the remaining $20, and the look on his face was everything. He's definitely never gonna forget her, that's for sure. Alright, which of these random acts of kindness moved you the most? Do you have any random acts of kindness you want to share? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Trend Joint, and we'll see you in the next one.